Good evening, everybody. September 29th, 2021. Let's take a look at Bitcoin. Definitely had more chop today during the US session. It certainly looked pretty dire there. And then after the daily open, we got some pumping, which is pretty much the pattern that we've been seeing, is that the US session is pretty much just selling, followed by a pump with the new daily going into the Asian and European sessions. So we have broken out of this downtrend line here. As you know, I'm not completely convinced by downtrend breaks. This one at least has quite a few touches on it, all in these areas here. So it should be slightly more significant, but the volume at the moment is pathetic. So I'm not convinced that we have bottomed completely and we're moving out of this chop area. Like I said in the video last night, it is very possible that we just continue to see this chop. In fact, I'm pretty sure I drew something exactly like that last night, and then we eventually proceed down here into that 37.5 to 38.5 area that I've been eyeing up. Now that being said, this move up at least negates the most immediate bearish path, which was this blue path here. That is certainly negated at this point. So I'm going to go ahead and remove that as a possibility. It's become more convoluted for sure. This red path, I don't know that we can even be clear on that, to be honest. This 4 on the larger move down here in the yellow that we were looking at, I'm going to leave that there for now, because it is still possible that all of this is just a very convoluted 4 playing out. It could even come up here and then still drop us down into the 5. That's certainly possible. We can get, when we're in correction mode, we can get a lot of chop like this, and it even can look quite bullish, and potentially even get above these highs here and then still plummet down into that area. But the good news with this action, in my opinion, is that we probably should not go below this area anymore. I was a little bit worried about that earlier on, when we had these big nasty dumps coming. I thought potentially we could even go lower than this area, but all of this chop sort of tells me that if we do spike down, it probably will just be into that area, but we'll have to play that by ear as this progresses. So let's see here. The bullish scenario certainly involves 5 waves. I'm not really clear, honestly, on what those 5 waves are going to be right now. It still may be this this red path here or something along those lines, and if it looks like that's playing out, I'll go ahead and move those around. Right now these are kind of just placeholders, and unless we get, let me get onto the 5 minute here, unless we get a clear impulsive move on a super low time frame, I'm not going to be convinced that we'll get anything more than this potential diagonal. And so far, none of this looks impulsive to me. Now it's very early still. We may be in the middle of making something, but we should be seeing some more pullbacks within this. Like ideally, we'd like to see something that looks more like that. And then a clear 3-wave down, for a 1 and a 2, and we're not really seeing that, in my opinion. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 maybe, but then we should have had a larger pullback here. Anyway, I'll keep an eye on that, and tomorrow, the overnight action and tomorrow's action may give us some further clues, but at the moment it's certainly not looking impulsive to me. So we'll just have to see if we can get up above. This red box here is just horizontal resistance. I think that's pretty key to get above that, and then getting above this B high here which is in this correction down off of our first wave up. We've got A, B, and C, and we're really just trying to decide or trying to figure out, is this C done with that move there, or do we need to move this down here and get that final dump down? That's what's unclear right now. If we did bottom in C here, then we could get a diagonal move upwards. Like I said, it's going to be really convoluted and difficult to track, but getting above the B high would be a pretty good indication, and certainly if we do it with a clear 5 waves like that, where we've got 1, 2, and then this is probably part of 2 here, but then we got a 3, 4, and a 5. If we can do that and get above this resistance and above this high, then I'll start entertaining the idea that perhaps we have bottomed. Until that happens, I'm still very wary that we can get that low there, and the manner that this goes up is going to be really important. And like I said, down on the low time frame, it's not looking impulsive, so I would not be surprised to see this turn into 3 waves, something along these lines. And if we just get that and fail to break above that high and fail to make 5 waves up, then we can very easily see from there a big dump down into that area there. So all of that being said, I still am holding on to the Bitcoin that I accumulated in this area. I can't remember exactly what it was. Let me look up what my orders were. So I said I'm buying spot Bitcoin down to 41.5. So from 43.8 to 41.5 is where I was buying. That was when I thought we were going to stop right around that range, but I had orders all the way down to 41.5, so my buys stopped right around there, and I had buys starting here. So basically this range, that's my accumulation range that I had, where I filled up buys, and then I was going to stop below 40.6, which never happened. So I am still holding on to those positions. So if this can go up, I'm very happy with that. If it can complete 5 waves off the low, I am filled up on Bitcoin again here, and that's fantastic for me. For the moment, I'm going to leave my stop at 40.6, but as this progresses, once we have 3 waves in place, I'm going to move my stop to the average entry that I have, which is 42 something, 42.5, something like that. I'll move my stop there, because if we then dump down below that level, we'll be likely proceeding down here. And so it's looking promising that we should at least get 3 off of this low here, so that's great, and we'll be able to set some break-even stops once that happens. I'm not going to do it yet, because the chop that we get in here can certainly knock us out for no reason. But once 3 are in place, I'll put a break-even stop, and then we'll basically be in a no-risk position, ready to buy lower if we get it, or ready to profit if we finally do break out of this range and proceed in the next leg up. All right, I think that is pretty much it. Let's take a quick look at indicators. So RSI is really getting topped out here. PPO is really getting topped out. Not surprising at all after that move with low volume. Let's look at the 4 hour. That's probably more relevant at the moment. So 4 hours about to break out, confirm a breakout, so that's good news. We may see a little pullback here just based on the hourly RSI after this 4 hour closes, but there is certainly room on the 4 hour to go up higher, and this is going to be probably a key area to watch. I would say, if we do get those 3 waves, that RSI is going to be topping out in the danger zone there, and then it's going to be very important to hold a 4th wave and then proceed upwards for the 5th from there. But I think that pretty much sums it up. So that's my plan, holding on to those spot buys for the moment, and let's see how high we can ride this. this move, even if it is a dead cat bounce, and we'll go from there. All right, good night, everybody.